starting off with invis parting through, and we're not lusting soul because it's just a 29, and even if a 29 is pretty hard in Tranica, it doesn't make sense to lust soul on this skill. Okay. We're lusting the boss instead because it also usually perfectly lines up with lust for first, second, and last boss. So I'm having others pulled soul through the door, and I tried to get the Nathracene, but I got them both. I'm playing quite high haste. I'm playing Cheat Death Trinket with the Weave of the Warped Fates and OWS. I think I'm gonna put the music just slightly lower even. And someone's just cutting the lawn, and that's really bad. I apologize about that, but I hope you can still hear me and with not too much noise. And we're still going pretty slow after this pull because these overseers do basically yesterday in a 31 Grimrail, I think, or was it 30? I'm not sure which one it was in. But I took 60k from melee attacks from both at the same time, and half a second later I took the frontal cleave, which you can't stop or do anything about. You just have to try to mitigate the damage, and it's plenty. I also forgot to put it faster. No, it's faster. I will upload it to YouTube after I've done it, and it's gonna be a bit shorter but then. I really apologize about the background noise though. No, I haven't raided yet today. I just CBA'd. I just went keys from the morning. Basically we're using binding to avoid having to move too much with the frontals, for example, and with the leaps and so forth. So I'm just saving. I'm just kicking whenever I can, and now I have them finish it off. We chill until the shade is gone, and here I'm just trying to maximize shield block up time. I'm scared of intervening my fellow melee guy because frontals. Yeah, it probably is common. Because it doesn't seem like claws are. It doesn't seem like claws are scaling, which is weird. At least not the damage back seems to be scaling. This is pretty close, but we're just finishing things off. And I didn't proc cheat death even, so it's more than fine. Got rally, but we need rally for the boss for the first phase. Otherwise people might die. And now I've got Cat to Mind Soothe, and he's going to pull the last Nathracene. But he's got to chill a bit because there's mobs in the way. Laborer, for example. It's coming. I'm just gonna finish it before we go boss. You could probably take it with boss, but there's no real reason to risk that. We're not doing the Giga Chad thing about second boss with turrets. Should consider it. I think I'm just gonna put it up to 2 times speed. There's a trick on this boss to actually LOS when he's going up, but I'm not too sure that's the way to play it, because I believe if not everyone is going to LOS at the same time, it's going to start attacking the other people that are not in LOS, and it's just going to be more damage for whoever's showing themselves. And you can reflect when the guy is on the boxes doing his barrage, you can reflect that. I try to stack them up a bit at times so we can just get some cleaves in. And what you also kind of want to do here is try to keep your intervene for whoever would need it, because it's actually a big deal. And obviously necrotic was not an issue at all up to this point, but after this it will be. Well, not after this, but after the 2 first mobs. And I'm actually using stone foam like a stupido. This is really probably the hardest part to manage through. Like if you wipe here, you're fucked. But if you wipe on trash, you're still probably maybe fine on this key level. Now, since we got him below 20%, he's not gonna jump up on boxes anymore, so we're just focusing the big guy. Maybe 2 times speed is too fast. I think we're just gonna go for it for now, because there's not much going on here. I do want to show everything. I think I'm also going to rally on the next slam, because I'm just scared if people won't need it, so I'm just using it. And the way you want to kill him is you want to kill the small guy first, but you want to make sure that he's just done a slam, so you're not killing the small guy and the guy enrages and kills everyone with an enraged slam. And we're finishing them off now. Yeah. And on Tyrannical, I think we could be fine to take both of these Grimrails at the same time. Unfortunately, I move a bit poorly, and you end up cost rising the mage. We're playing it safe because Cat was drinking. I could probably reactivate Banner, and I'm wasting Stoneform as well. And now it's got aggro because they reset for whatever reason. They start resetting here. But they're playing this pretty good with the shade and so forth. And not that I actually needed shield wall there, but I want it up for the next pack and there's no reason to hold it. And next pack is being a bit spicy because, as you can see now, he's attacking with the bleed, but I'm not checking if I would get the effect or not, so I just Stoneformed and I completely wasted it. Whereas I know now that I should save it for this pack so I could just reset, because you don't really want to move too much here. But we're gonna end up binding very late, and I'm going to proc my cheat death, I'm going to proc Tuft and Angel. And that was very close with that sleep puddle as well, just look at that. But I'm staying alive. I'm also playing the haste set rings from Mechagon, and it actually feels pretty darn good. Not that it's necessarily worth it with necrotic wounds, since our healing is limited and more haste means more healing rather than damage reduction. Here we're just gonna use bind to drop stacks, and we're doing it now. And then Another Seam doesn't give stacks, by the way, keep that in mind. Next pack we're pulling over here, I believe, just to have a bit more room. And the same thing, as long as you have binding, this is not an issue at all. But you've got to make sure that people watch out for the frontals. Something that is also making this run pretty easy is the fact that we are stopping things whenever things would go bad otherwise. Like he hasn't used DB for forever now, but that's fine because it wasn't too much needed. On second pack in train. How do I increase my damage on second pack in train? What do you mean? I'm just helping them finish up the shades, and this pack we're pulling a bit back. Since there's the Hulk here, he can't be bound, so I'm going to move back to the previous card whenever I need to drop stacks. They're giving stacks pretty slowly though, since there's 2 boomers doing mortars and 1 doing grenadier and so forth. Yeah. The flame tongue. Can you actually affect that? So I just went back a card to drop it, and next pack I'm just gonna Stoneform. Just make sure that you try to keep the infantry's frontals away from the group. Do you have to reflect the initial one, Kaba? Because I've tried reflecting when it's been a ground effect. Your cat needed to drink and it was fine. Just waited a few seconds. Just tank and spank basically. The fuck? Okay. But that means I have to take the damage from the puddle too, right? And that fucking hurts. I'll try it out. No? I just keep them in puddle, but I stay out? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I wasted my shockwave there because he DB'd as well. Even hit the DB because I didn't see the logo on them. Once we get the two boomers, we're going to shrapnel those just to get them down faster. I'm having more than enough shrapnel. If you tank it where I'm standing right now, you can hit the boss with shrapnel from both sides. Because it's fire damage, yeah. What really makes this part of this second boss fight easier is if people are actually stopping, and you can reflect that fire, which is not much damage, but if you're not attacking the cannon at all, he's going to stay at a few thousand HP, so I just reflect it and then we should be more than enough. And the hunter actually sent his pet there as well. As you can see, I'm tanking it here, and that's usually a lot of damage, so I popped all my defensives. But as you can see, Necrotic was actually not a big issue at all. But that is obviously because we have a hunter, and without the hunter it would be fucking horrible. What we're doing now is, since we've got a priest, we're going to Mindsuit the first mob to the left. I'm sadly dropping OWS and banner, so it is quite surprising that I'm actually surviving this pull. But he's going to binding somewhat insta. I'm going to Stoneform to drop stacks, and the ads are going to die. I'm just being ready to shockwave in case they would still stay alive. Now people just have to be careful with shades. You can also reflect the farseer here. You can see the ground effect. I just reflected, went in, went out. So we're killing that one, and then I'm pulling in the other farseer. What you also can do as a warrior, which is pretty nice, is you can charge the shades to stop them for a second. Again, I reflected the farseer. And we're chilling, letting Chisty ramp up since he's playing demo. Not chilling too much though, but a bit. On this boss fight we're playing as two groups, one ranged and one melee, and actually shades are huge for me here because I have full stacks of OWS from the start. And since we're not really pre-mates, we don't know precisely how to move, but we are managing somewhat fine. I do end up dying from him soaking a trap, and I'm just slightly too close. I should reflect, yeah. Good. Always face away from the range though, so you avoid the chance of throwing a spear towards the range. And so likewise here, try to intervene your melee friend before Thunderous Breaths. Only procced once. But I'm also dying here. No, I procced twice actually. I procced on the previous pack. And I procced on the very first pull in the train, but that's due to a fuck up. See, I went a bit too close there, my bad, but it's alright. Back up and running. And in this situation I'm telling Chisty to soulstone me because I can almost solo the rest. Not this much and not in time, but at a specific point I can solo the rest and nobody else can probably. Should be reflecting soon, but this is getting a bit northy. Going here, and we're getting free space, and we're moving back to our left side. What you want to do when you're dodging that spear is you never want to go through him and stand on him but still be behind him, because I've died plenty of times by that. Same, I told him here to not CRD Hunter, because just keep it for me instead. And it's timed. 15.6k is a bit low, but that is without weapons, and it's whatever.